What's going on, everybody? It's Dot Bets. We're checking back in. We got our On the Dot PGA live stream coming at you guys here for the RBC Heritage Golf Tournament this weekend. Fresh off another outright winner for the stream. We had TeaseNation once again get his 8th outright of the year, the 5th of the stream. We are up to 8 total outrights between the two of us. I will put our show up against a lot of other shows on the profitability side, and we appreciate you guys tuning back in for another great tournament. This turned into a surprisingly great tournament. This is usually one that kind of gets brushed over, but they designated this event for a lot of the big studs. So got to play, $15 million purse. You have the only person that is not playing this week, I think, is Rory. For good measure. He's probably embarrassed after what he did last week at the Masters. And then my dumbass said, yep, let's put him down to win. But let's bring in Teaser, always here with the co-host. How are we feeling this evening? How are we feeling about this weekend? And congrats on the RAHM outright. How are we feeling?
Yeah, man, appreciate it. It was a good week last week. I mean, I always love the Masters. I think it's pretty simple. You just take the course history and roll with it. I thought RAHM was, I know 9-1's pretty tough to bet sometimes, but it was simple, man. Like, he's going to win a major. I think he's going to win another this year. So yeah, it was good to hit him. It was always good, but I mean, I was turning matchups. We hit as well, 2-1 there, and then 3 out of 4 top 20. So that was good. Chris Kirk came clutch with the top 30. So it was all around good week. It's good to see. Corey Connors was really the only guy that kind of upset me. He just forgot how to chip at Augusta. It was horrendous.
Yeah, it was a little strange from Connors, but what did he put up, like a +6 or +7 in like that in the second round there?
Yeah, he was 1 under, and then all of a sudden on the par 5s, he just chipped one in the water on 13. I was just like, all right, well, this guy's done. So
it was a crazy weather advantage. We knew rain was coming. We just didn't know how long they would play, how and when it would come down. I thought they played as much as they could in the rain. I thought they did a pretty dang good job. You just got those guys on Friday afternoon who had to make the cut or who had to battle those conditions to make the cut, like JT, Tiger, M. I mean, that's just the luck of the draw there. But I was impressed with one guy, Sung Jae, man. He was like 3 item top 20. He was literally on the cusp of missing the cut, and he top 20s it. So yeah, he battled through the weather. I mean, that's kind of what I looked for with those guys, like RAHM. I mean, he played well through the weather. Some guys just fell apart. But yeah, I mean, it was tough. Like, Brooks got the most luckiest draw, but he still couldn't finish it. Right.
I know, like, the slow play guys out there on Twitter is the reason why he lost. But I don't know. Like, Cantley was playing pretty slow, so.
And that's what made RAHM's victory even crazier, is because he did not get an advantage. He was playing in the shit conditions the entire time. And he weathered the storm, and he went back and said, hey, let's go head-to-head, Brooks. And it was a 2-man race. And great Sunday at the Masters. That ended up being a little chilly, but the sunshine was out. And, Cantley was playing so damn slow.
I know, man.
they were so mad. It was awesome.
Yeah.
All right. So RBC Heritage, if you have tuned in before, we give out some outrights, some placements, and we'll go through some DFS advice with some sleepers, some studs, some chalk that you should fade, and kind of go along those lines. I actually just calculated my numbers for this season, because I was like, you know what, I don't pay too much attention to it on a week-to-week basis, but I like to see a large sample size. And I'm up 20 plus units for the season. And this is only my second season truly betting golf. So I know Teaser's helped me a shit ton with this. Teaser's the OG when it comes to golf. And make sure you guys join his VIP with Hammer and Hank. You guys can look into his latest tweet. He's got you got a deal going on for it, right?
Yeah, it's like, I mean, it's really 15 without the discount. So I mean, 20% off that. I mean, it's pretty cheap. So I mean, I know it's VIP or whatever, but I mean, we're putting out like 10 to 15 plays, so it's pretty much worth it. I mean, last week, for example, you hit ROM, you're profiting, so
Yep.
it's good. Yeah, 20 units is pretty good as well through 3 months of the season, and
I'll take it.
and it's just a steady race. We're still going. We still have the whole summer, so we're just pacing ourselves, and it's been a fun ride so far. So hopefully we can keep going.
Yeah, and I haven't even dug into matchups, first round leaders, like anything like that. This is just strict outrights and placements. That's where I'm getting my base down. If you want matchups and all that, get with Teaser. He's the man of that for each and every round. I just haven't dove into that. I haven't watched a golfer enough mid round and said, okay, that guy's got it or not. It's a trade. You definitely gotta critique that and learn from it each and every season, each and every tournament. So let's get into the RBC Heritage breakdown. If you guys are on YouTube or Twitch, feel free to throw a comment down if you guys have any questions over some props or you have any questions over DFS. And if you're on Twitter, simply just hit that retweet button. It goes a long way. We're trying to continue to grow this show each and every week. And I also want to plug this. Me and Sidekick are starting our MLB shows that will be on every Sunday morning at 10:30. So spread the word on that. Teaser is hoping to make some appearances. We'll see how many he can make there.
Yep.
But we're going to have that going all through the summer, and then hopefully funnel that into the NFL season. So excited to get that one going there. Just wanted to plug that one in. So RBC Heritage, take it away, Teaser. What do we need to know about the golfers? What do we need to know about the course? And who should we attack this week?
Yeah, so I was actually at this tournament last year. We went down to Harbor Town. So it's like a nice little course. It's short course, par 70. It's really attackable. I mean, it's one of those positional courses we always talk about, like TBC Sawgrass. You really just drive it straight. You really want a guy who's good with his irons. And then you need to scramble around the greens because I think this is one of the smallest greens on tour. Although if you're playing well irons, you don't really need the scrambling part. Like I said, a lot of tee shots force you to lay up, so you're going to see a lot of 3 woods irons off the tee. So I mean, we're not going to put much emphasis on the bombers this week. So I think past few years, a lot of veterans have won and many long shots. I think even Spieth last year was 50-1, I believe. So there's been like one, I think Webb Simpson was like 28-1 a couple years ago, but there's been a lot of long shots like Stuart Sink 2 years ago, 100-1 or something like that. So I don't know about this year since it's designated. I think one of the top guys will probably take it, but it's a Pete Dye course, some course comps, like I said, Sawgrass, TBC River Highlands, where they do the 3M Open, also Sedgefield, which they do in August, where you kind of see the Russell Henleys, the Webb Simpsons do well, Tom Kim, all the short guys off the tee who can like fend for themselves here. Key stats we're looking at this week: strokes gain approach. Usually that's every week. Strokes gain around the greens I kind of plugged in as well, just in case you're miss one of these small greens. And then proximity 125 to 200. You'll kind of get a lot in that range this week. So, and then par 4, 400 to 450. So really short course. You're going to see a lot of low numbers this week. Probably winner's going to be maybe in the 20s, I would say. So it's going to be pretty much a birdie fest.
Yeah, and I'll piggyback on that. I think strokes gained approach and then strokes gained around the green are my 2 favorite ones. Those are usually my 2 favorite ones. But then if I'm on the fence of anybody in my player pool, I'm going to actually go with the distance advantage there because I think you can get away with it. I mean, you got to be accurate first, but I think if you have some strokes gained off the tee, you can have that significant advantage against somebody this weekend. So I'm gonna have those bombers as kind of like my on the fence. Okay, I'll go with distance over accuracy sometimes with that, or just whoever's pretty good strokes gained off or from tee to green. I'll probably lean more on that. But yeah, the weather this weekend, it's a little bit more windy. There could potentially be some rain in there, but I think it's more windy than anything.
It gets pretty windy down there. It's kind of on the water. So you'll expect normal winds. It's not going to be too much, but it's kind of a coastal course, but it's kind of not because some are tucked back, where you're not really do have too much wind. But the wind is definitely
a factor this week. And I think there's a slight advantage if you're doing DFS to the AM PM tee times. So if you want to go that route, make sure you guys are up to date to tonight, tomorrow morning. Make sure you guys are just tuning in to the weather and seeing if anything's changed on that front. So let's get into your outrights. We can go back and forth. I only got a couple right now. I'm going to have 3 total, but for the stream, I got 2. I got to see if Teaser talks to anybody else this week.
I'll try.
Who you got for an outright?
I'm just going to say now my outrights are a little bit chalk. I'll probably stick with these, but if anyone's in the VIP, they may change. But
chalk. Hear me out before you dive in real quick. This is a tournament that is just like literally just changed from last year to this year because of the designated event now. And what we've seen this year with designated events is that the elite guys have been winning them. Plain and simple. Yeah. It's the guys who probably top 5, top 10-ish or so. They're going to be up there. But this week is a little bit different because it's coming off of a Masters week. So you got to say, is Scotty going to rebound? Is Rahm going to be hungover? Is he going to is he going to actually want to compete to this weekend? You got Cantlay, who played very, very tough all weekend long. You got Cam Young, who played all weekend long, very high stress. Same with Xander. Like you have this very, very crazy dynamic where are those top guys going to get after it? I assume they will because there's money on the line. You're always trying to compete, but maybe the guys who missed the cut, ring a bell like JT this week, where get a little revenge. Somebody who you had Spieth on Sunday who absolutely tore up the Masters. Does he use that momentum going in? So it's a very, very strange dynamic of the RBC Heritage from years past. So that's why we have seen a lot of long shots win, because usually the big guys take this week off. Then you have a wide open field. I don't think it's going to be the case this week. It's going to be those top guys once again in those designated events. No,
I think I agree with you. It's scary because this is a course where, like, I don't know if a designated like Arnold Palmer, we saw Kitayama win, but the guys are going to show up to that because that's a tough course. This one's like, it's a pretty easy course. So we're going to have like guys like Aaron Rye and like someone go 8 under, like some a below average guy. But I think this is my take on it this week. I'm going to kind of stay away from like the grinders. I know Rahm, he can hang in a birdie fest. Like Max Homa, I'm going to stay away from because he's in Xander. I think they're more of kind of the grinder types. Like, I mean, they can rattle off a 7-8 under if they wanted to, but that's not kind of their game normally. But the first outright, I'll just get to it, is Cantlay. He's a guy who can go low, 14-1. It's kind of a pretty bad number, but it's really whatever. I love him here. I watched him a lot here last year. He looked great. He came runner-up. He lost in that playoff. 4 top 10s here in 5 starts. Also his recent form, 4 top 20s in his last 4 starts. So he's coming in recent form. The one thing is, though, which obviously why everyone's on him this week, and you probably know because Twitter, everyone's chasing the putter. Everything in his game's locked in except the putter. So everyone's like, Cantlay, he's an elite player. He's going to win this year. Everyone's really just chasing a hot week with the putter. So it really depends when that thing gets going, because we've never really seen Cantlay putt this horribly before. It's been pretty bad. He's always been one of those guys who's, patty ice with the putter type thing. So it's tough to gauge, man. I don't know what it is. Like maybe he turns it around this week on some easy Bermuda greens. But yeah, that's my first one. If you want to get
you're going with Patrick Turtle Cantlay. I like it. He's gonna set the tone. He's gonna set the tone. Yeah. First one I got. We're gonna go probably with someone hasn't been talked about too much. I got 2 outrights kind of like that, and then one that's probably going to make the card that everyone's talking about. But the first one is going to be Fitzpatrick, and the reason for that, you watched him last week, top 10 at the Masters. I'm thinking that neck is healed. Plus, you have a course that you have a wind factor. He loves playing in wind. Second factor, he's going to have to be very, very great off of his approach game. And if you do look at his last 5, he was minus 1.1 on his strokes gained approach. But I'm going off of what he did at the Masters specifically because the times before he was hurt. So just hear me out here. But the number 28-1 here for Fitzpatrick for a guy who is slowly getting more healthy, likes this course. He said it's one of his favorite courses to play at. So I'm going to have a lot of Fitz in DFS. He comes in close to about 15 to 16%. So you got about 8 or 9 guys in front of him. I'm gonna go a little bit more of a sleeper route here with Fitzpatrick. He's played this course since 2014, 23rd, miscut, 14, 39th, 14th, a 4th, and then a miscut last year, which everyone misses cuts once in a while. I'm not too worried about Fitzpatrick this week. I think he bounces back pretty nicely and is up there. He will be one that I'm doubling up on. Fitzpatrick outright, and then Fitzpatrick top 20 as well. He's at plus 130 there. You got another outright?
Yeah, this guy I'll double up on as well. This is Morikawa. I got 20-1, I think, yesterday. And also I'll take his top 20 at plus 100. So I'll kind of just explain why for both. The model, I think he's 13th. I mean, we all know the strokes gain approach. We talk about it every week, really, when I take them. I'm a little nervous, I guess, once you mentioned just the guys who've played in the Masters, like the weekend, maybe hopefully they're not, drained from that. The Masters can take a lot mentally out of you. Hopefully they're kind of ready to get after it this week. But this is another guy. It's the same thing with Cantlay, man. Like, we've seen Morikawa win multiple times. Like, he's going to eventually win this year, and his game is trending. 10th at the Masters and 16th at the Players. He's really starting to gain the form. I think his 2 top 30s here in 3 starts. And this is really a course where, like I said, I'm looking for those elite guys with the irons, so he can really attack some holes with the wedges, irons. It's just the putter. I mean, I guess I'm addicted to guys who like can't putt. I don't know what it is, man, but it's just the putter. I think I've taken him at the Players and the Masters. He gets off to a great start. He's in contention at the Masters. He just doesn't do anything. Like, if you I follow him closely, the shot tracker the whole weekend. He just he was just at 5, 6 under 5, 4 under 5, 6. It was just like, you're gonna make a move. So it's just a matter of making a move. But here, you can't really make bogeys here. I mean, you'll make a bogey once in a while, but it's not a hard course. So I think he can kind of just keep gaining throughout the week.
Yeah, it's a birdie fest for sure.
Yeah, I'll just tie in one more guy before you go. This is really the same guy at this point, Cam Young. I got 30-1. Yep. Everyone knows how much I love this guy. I'm going to be taking him almost every week. I haven't decided on the top 20 yet. I don't know if I'll swap the outright. I just can't miss the outright. But I think his model rank, he's not too great in the model, but that's because of the good drives of 109. But it doesn't matter here. We saw last year, he had a third year last year in his first start. I believe he was the first round leader. I followed him a lot here last year. He didn't use driver much off the tee, which is good, obviously. He's a stick with his wedges and his irons. We've seen that at the Masters. And actually something that got to me at the Masters, this guy was second in putting at the Masters, and he did not win the tournament. Like, there's something I can't think. I follow his whole round, all 4 rounds. He was 4th off the tee, top 10 in approach, and second in putting. And this guy comes top 10.
Yeah,
it's only a matter of time, man. It really is.
And he was one that got shafted with the weather, and it affected him more than I think a lot of other ones for whatever reason. I don't know why.
It's just a pain, man. Like, on a Sunday, you got to make a move. Like, he'll go. This too. He'll go 3 under the first 3 holes. A par 5 will come. It's like, okay, he's gonna make a easy birdie. He'll double bogey the par 5.
Yeah,
make 3 birdies again in the row. So it's just minimizing that double bogey.
Yeah,
he has like once in a while on a par 5, which makes no sense to me. But the wind's coming, so.
Yeah, and that's the one that I'm still on the fence about taking because he is so dang popular. But he's popular for a damn reason. And I was on him last week, and our motto has always been to double up this year. Yeah. Just because you missed him last week does not mean you cannot. It doesn't mean you should stay off him this week. So I'm on the fence there. More than likely going to pull the trigger and put an outright there. I'm going to go. But one thing I want to say about Morikawa, he is the most frustrating player right now because he does have a great start. He goes off 5 under, 6 under, 7 under, and then it just like something just. He overthinks it or whatnot. He just cannot get that next step. So hopefully this tournament he can do so. He checks all the boxes with strokes gained approach, good drives, making sure you got the birdie streaks, all that, and you got to make sure you got everything, and he checks a lot of it. So I'm debating putting Morikawa top 20 or so on the card. I have not done it. There's the top 20 placement is great value this week. But my last outright that I'll give out here is going to be Sam Burns. So this is a guy that maybe some people forget about, but I think he was up there top 5 for the Masters for a couple rounds. And then he got, for a little bit. And I was kicking myself. I was like, man, I cannot believe I like playing Sam Burns, is that he's just been so bad to start the year, but he's turned it around. And let me try to pull up where he's at in the model.
Yeah, you can type him in. Yeah.
So
probably not too great.
Not too good.
He hasn't been good this year, but
he has not been good this year. But just like Fitzpatrick, I'm taking those guys who maybe haven't played good this entire season, but have played well enough at the Masters and are going to take that and use that momentum.
And he won match play.
And he won match play. Yeah. Let's see what he's done here. So just recent form, I mean, 35th at the Players, 6th at the Valspar, and then 29th at the Masters. Can't complain with that. And he's played 3 times. He had a 39th, a missed cut, and the 9th finish here for RBC. So played the course pretty well. I think he's good enough to win this thing. I really like Sam Burns as another sleeper pick. What's that odds? Sorry. Let me see. Burnsy is 35 to 1. 35 to 1. So I got a 28 to 1 and then a 35 to 1. And then I'm hanging around a Cam Young. What's Cam Young at 22 to 1 that I'm debating on.
Wow. Yeah. Okay.
The one that's intriguing, like I talked about earlier, was JT at 25 to 1, because you're not accustomed to seeing him there. He's up there usually 18 to 1 and below. So you are getting some type of value. You're talking about revenge there. I'm gonna go right into my top 20 real quick. That he leads my top 20 card at plus 120, and that's JT. So JT and Fitzpatrick, and then I'm going with the cover boy. The cover boy is not an outright. I don't know why. I don't want to bet Finau to have an outright.
Yeah, win.
I don't think he's going to win. I wanted to throw a loop out there, but I'm taking his top 20 at plus 120. So Finau, Fitzpatrick, and Thomas there. Go ahead with your top 20 there.
Yeah, I'll just throw in one long shot outright. Kitayama at 130 to 1. It's not really. It's just kind of like a misprice, and I think we kind of see him every week now. He's kind of mispriced there.
Dude, last week, what the hell was he doing?
I guess that's why he's priced like this, because he's really inconsistent, but like he's won this year, so it's weird. So I just I'm gonna put probably 0.2 units on it, so it's just not gonna be much. It's just to win. Not much. So yeah, it's just one of those long shots, just to, hopefully he can contend. But
I went way too heavy with him in DFS. That's why I'm so pissed off at myself.
It's tough because he can either miscut easily or he'll contend. It's nothing in between with him. That's probably why we always see that big number there. But for top 20s, I already mentioned Morikawa. I got plus 100. I'm actually gonna shift this over. I had Victor Hovland at plus 115. I think I'm switching it to Cam Young at plus 130. Just a little more value there. I don't like taking Hovland. Maybe, I don't know. That's up for grabs. It's either going to be Hovland or Cam Young. It's a question mark right now. But the other two that I have locked in for sure. This one, I was surprised to see him a little high up the board. Tom Kim at plus 170. I got his model ranks 9th. This is a guy he's never played here, obviously, because he's new to tour. But, he loves positional short courses. We saw him win, I believe. Where did he win? I think he did the CJ Cup in another one. I thought he won Wyndham. But, yeah, he's short off the tee. That's the one thing about him. I think he can really play well here. He's good with his irons. 6 strokes gain approaches last 50, 10th good drive. So he's really an all-around player. And this course fits him. So I'll take that value on the top 20 any day with him. And then this last guy, I always say this is kind of going against my law against top 20s of you want guys who are consistent, and I'm going Cam Davis 4-1.
Oh,
You really want like the consistency.
Mr. Inconsistent.
Yeah. You really want the consistency with the top 20, and consistency is not in Cam Davis, repertoire. But supposedly he said he had like a big sickness this year. The first, I guess, 2.5 months of the year, we saw him gain a little form at the Players, I believe, with the top 10. He does have a third year and a 25th year. The model ranks 43rd, so it's not too great, not too bad. But the one thing about him is it's weird. He's like a 6'5" guy. You think he is a bomber, but like he loves the opposite. So he likes these positional courses. He loves playing these little short courses where he can kind of just get in the fairway and attack with a wedge. He's another guy who can go low. He can put up like an 8 under round first round. So I'm taking a flyer there. Probably be half a unit on that. So
I like it. I'll go right into my top 40s, and then we'll wrap it up. Talk about a couple sleepers for DFS and kind of how to attack that. Number one, I will say lock of the week. This is Siwoo Kim, top 40 plus 100. Pete Dye courses, he loves them, and this is one of them. And you have a guy. It's the Masters effect. You've played the Masters. You played well enough, but it wasn't very stressful. So, I mean, he's got top 30 at the Masters, and you go and you saw he's played this course ever since 2016, 14th, 2nd, miscut, 33rd, and then a 42nd. I will take recent form with course history here and go Siwoo Kim plus 100. Next guy is Tommy Fleetwood plus 140, I think. No, plus 110. Plus 110, a guy here who's played, once again, 33rd at the Masters, recent form. He has been off the chains. Third at the Valspar, 27th at the Players, 61st Palmer, and then the 20th at the Genesis. And if you see his recent course history, 10th last year, miscut, and then a 25th and 19. So guy plays well here, mix of good iron play and a guy who has good strokes gained around the green. And he's number 12 in the model here. And then another guy is going to be Brendan Todd, plus 190. A guy that probably not a lot of people are going to be on. He's my number one sleeper pick this week for DFS. He's pretty good course fit for a guy that has to shape your shot. Make sure you have good approach game here. And then his course history is okay. Doesn't have too much. He's got a couple good finishes here, but for the most part, I'm going off of recent form here and good course fit for Todd at plus 190. What do you got for your top 40?
As of right now, I have Kitayama, but I don't know if I'm going to take him yet. But the one I'll probably lock in is Ben Griffin at 2-1. We've already talked about him on stream before. We need to have him in some type of way. He's been great this year. He's kind of come onto the scene a little bit. He's also from the area, Hilton Head, I believe. So he's very familiar, with these types of courses. He's familiar with this course as well. So that's always kind of good to look at with some guys. Some guys just love playing at home or, a course that they love. So 2-1 on that top 40 is pretty crazy just to kind of make the cut and contend a little bit on a Sunday.
Mm-hmm. All right. So we'll go transition real quick to DFS talk. You're getting about 4 or 5 golfers who are coming in at over 20% ownership. You got Scotty Scheffler leading the way at 26, Cantlay around 25, M at 23-ish, and then you got Lowry right at 20. Lowry is a guy I might go back to because you got wind involved. You have a tougher course with the wind. Lowry screams it to me. That's why I went to Fitzpatrick. Then you have Cam Young coming in at 17, Xander at 17, Thomas at 17, and Homa at 17. So those are pretty much like the chalk plays there. I'm going to Teaser's probably going to make me play a little bit more Cantlay than I wanted to.
Yeah,
but
you have to.
Scheffler, I'm going to be under the field again on him. I'm probably going to match it. Lowry, I'll probably match it. And then maybe go slightly under the field on Young and Xander. I'm gonna be over the field on Thomas, thinking for a rebound here, and then probably under the field on Homa. But my two top value picks are Finau and Kim. Finau at 15%, Kim at 8%. Pretty good value play there. Then you have a couple sleepers, Brennan Todd, like I just talked about, Denny McCarthy. You have Keegan Bradley, who plays pretty dang well here.
Mm-hmm.
And then Davis Riley is a guy that you can always kind of just throw into your player pool, but like put him in like one or two lineups just in case he does go off. But he's only coming in around sub 3%, so you don't have to get too crazy with it. Put 5%, put 6%, just double the field or whatnot. Put him in 2 or 3 lineups and see if he has any magic that week. But yeah, this is a week I think you got to be smart. I would go more balanced builds this week than stars and scrubs, just because I don't think one of those heavy favorites salary wise, the Scheffler and the Rahm, at 11,000 plus get it done. So
right,
maybe pick one of those guys from Spieth, Cantlay, and Morikawa in your 10,000, and then go back down to like the low, the 8,400 with Fitzpatrick. You have Fleetwood at 8,100 who's coming in at 10%. Kind of build that route where you have a little bit more balance, and then maybe even just avoid all the 10K guys and go below them. So you could go a little bit different there. But yeah, the dynamic here is a little wild. Like as we discussed earlier on in the stream, you don't know who's ready to play. You don't know who, because it's a designated event off of the big time Masters stressful weekend that a lot of guys just went through. So you got any sleepers you want to throw out? I always love to hear the teaser sleepers at the end.
Did you mention Webb Simpson?
No, I did not.
Okay, that's the one guy I think. He's obviously kind of not who he is now, but I mean, he plays really well here. He's one of those guys where it's like those short courses. That's where he feasts and make his money. So he's coming also playing
at 4%.
Yeah, I think he would be a good, pivot or, to make your lineup a little different. But he's also playing with Cam Young first 2 rounds. It's a good match. They both, I think, went to Wake Forest. His old caddies with Cam Young now. So that's pretty good. You always look at that stuff. That's a good vibes group there. Yeah. So I would also honestly take Cam Young first round leader. That's one sleeper for me. I'm looking here now. Jeez. It's kind of crazy to me that Billy Horschel's 150-1.
He is falling off the face of the earth.
Like, you're really telling me Andrew Putnam is the same odds as Billy Horschel to win?
Yep.
Like, that's crazy, man. Did you mention Denny McCarthy or? Yeah.
He's one of my one of the sleepers there.
Yeah. So I mean, really, those are my two. Denny McCarthy, if the putter gets hot, I mean, he can contend as well on these greens. I guess a way high flyer, maybe like Adam Shank or something like that. I don't know. So, yeah, I think this week, the more I think about it, is kind of, just play it, not safe, but like just be weary a little bit. So kind of just say, don't kind of dive into it too much. It's tough to really cap this. Usually it's pretty easy to cap this tournament, but this year it's gotten a little harder with all the guys here. So we'll see.
Different.
It's kind of just guessing who's going to be ready, who's going to be not, who played in the Masters. So just keep it light, and
And if you want to have a play off of who did very, very well on Sunday at the Masters and kind of ride that momentum, my top 3 here would be Spieth,
yep,
Theegala, and Henley. Yeah. So those 3 killed it on Sunday at the Masters.
Oh, I forgot about Henley, dude.
Yeah, Henley was.
Yeah,
I actually had him in one of my cash lineups, which helped take away some of the loss that I had on some of the other ones. A slight profit for the week, but wasn't as good. So
Henley, this is literally his bread and butter too. These types of courses too, but
and he just fired off on Sunday.
You wouldn't take him 45 outright. I would probably take a top plus 190. I don't even know. Maybe a first round leader, I would say. That's the best bet on him. And then DFS as well. But he's one of those guys, I feel like, I don't know, like a Masters, he could be exhausted. I feel like Henley would be that guy to not do anything this week. But
Yeah, I mean,
Could be wrong.
we'll see. So you got, I mean, matchups. I might throw a 3-ball in the Discord like I did last. I think I did it last couple rounds. So see if we can do a little 3-ball parlay in there. If you guys want to join the Discord, it's in the link below. Go ahead and sign up there. And we appreciate you guys tuning in. That is the RBC Heritage breakdown with my man TeaseNation. If you guys want to, if you have any other questions, DM us on Twitter, join the Discord, or join Hammer and Hank's VIP. And check out Teaser's last tweet if you want to go with 20% off there. So we'll get up on out of here. We appreciate you guys tuning in. Let's get another winner. See you guys.